Hi, and welcome to the SJ Child Show. The SJ Child Show brings value to families through education, resources, and lots of laughs. You can find us on our social media pages Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and all of your favorite podcast platforms. You can also find our special children's books at sjchilds.org. This month is April Autism Action Month. All of our guests in April will be autism warriors, and we are celebrating them and bringing this to the forefront. Enjoy the show. Hi, and welcome to the SJ Child Show. I'm your host, SJ Childs, and we have some very special guests today, Gina and Sam Mitchell, coming all the way from Indiana. Hello, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having us. Really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Hi.
So glad to have you here. Hey, Sam, tell us a little bit about why you're on the show today.
Because I have autism and you like my podcast so much.
That's right. That's right. And what's your podcast called again?
Autism Rocks and Rolls.
Rocks and Rolls. And it sure does. It's been the music of my life for the last 10 years. And I'm so happy to have you both on the show to talk about our journeys and to talk about your stuff going on.
Yeah, we got a lot going on.
It's wearing Mama out.
It's wearing Mama out a little bit, but there's lots of things going on. It's my second job right now. I'm a teacher. So I teach during the day, but then I come home and I do podcast work. So
wow.
And then his job as a student right now is a senior in high school, but then he comes home and does his second job too.
That's great. And what you said you're going to be graduating soon, Sam. When are you going to be graduating?
May 20. Sorry, I forget the date. Always with graduation. May 22nd, 2021. Hopefully in person.
I agree. Oh, congratulations.
I heard that they're putting a tripod, I think is what I've heard lately.
Yeah, there's some rumors circulating. I think the chance of it being in person is pretty good at this point. So we'll see.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, that's great. That's wonderful. Well, what kind of stuff do you like to do on your podcast? We'll talk about your personal interests and stuff after that. Tell me about the stuff why did you get into podcasting and what do you do on your podcast? Tell everybody.
Okay. So yeah, I started the podcast after I joined my high school's media club and did Thundercast episodes and still do a little bit of it's like the topics shown in the school. But after a while, it got a little boring. So I thought, let's add something to it because I don't want to quit Thundercast. I mean, I don't want to quit it. Let's add on to the plate a little bit. Let's have some more fun. Then sure enough, boom, Autism Rocks and Rolls.
That's fantastic. I love the name. Did you come up with that on your own?
Yeah, it was going to be Inside Autistic Brain, but that got kind of boring. We were going to we were experimenting with my hobbies, and then it came up with rock music because that's one of my favorite genres of music. And still now it's Autism Rocks and Rolls. It was going to be Rock and Rolls or Rock and Rolls, but it was taken.
It was taken. Yeah.
So we had to add it. We just said, okay, let's try adding S's, and it worked.
Why not? Absolutely. No, I love that. Like I said, with my name, the SJ Child Show is formed from my author name, SJ Childs. And once you have a good thing, keep it going, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's great. What kind of stuff do you talk about on your podcast? Do you play music or movie reviews? Tell us what you talk about. Just autism related?
Sure. I call it the APE process. It's A, which stands for autistic behaviors. P, perspective or interviews. E, entertainment, which are like some for fun ones are like an analogy or something but they all come back to autism.
I love that. I think that's so important. And like I said, I feel like us in the autism community are finally like getting a louder voice, and it's becoming more socialized, more looked at in a positive perspective rather than a stigma, because it's nothing of the sort, is it?
No, I personally think we still have a long way to go.
Oh yeah.
I bet you're right in that it definitely is better as time goes on. You know, we learn more about it. And I think that people like Sam and probably like your connection with autism as well, I think society is watching them like break down
Yes.
barriers and you know, they can do things. I mean, for a long time and even today, you know, people will still, not for a while, but I can remember people saying, oh, your son has autism. I'm so sorry. And, you know, I know they're not trying to be mean. And I think they're really thinking, oh, I should give them my condolences. But what they
We don't
don't,
need condolences.
there's
Thank you.
nothing to be
Oh,
sorry for. Like there's,
No.
he doesn't need to be pitied. I mean,
Yeah.
What am I doing now?
he has autism.
Being successful.
Yeah, like that.
Right?
So people will still say that because just simply don't understand. So
Yeah.
it's just, you know, educating people and helping people understand he doesn't need to be fixed, you
Nope.
know. It's fine. Like
Yep.
he is who he is.
I
So,
agree. I agree 100%. And you know, it really is a testament to what a loving, compassionate, flexible mom you are, and that's fantastic because really embracing who our children are and not who we think they are supposed to be is how they build confidence and become successful people like Sam who start their own podcast before they're out of high school.
right. And which leads to a business. And then now when he goes to college, he wants to pursue potentially entrepreneurship. Like, okay, maybe I want to continue to do this. What does it take?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
learn that. So
Now, I was reading on your guys' stuff that you're having a silent auction that relates to the business and to helping get you onto a special podcast network. Let's talk about that for a second.
All right. So what happened was, what was her name? I forgot.
but her name is
Her name's
no, I cannot remember. She's such a nice lady. It's the Mental Health Radio Network.
Yeah, and
Okay.
she contacted us, and she got us on a couple others in the future. I don't remember what they're called.
Wonderful.
But what she proposed to us is we could be on that network for a year, I think, right?
Well, it was yeah, there's obviously funds involved to be in a network. I believe it was just like a one-time
Okay.
payment. But it's to Sam and to us, you know, a lot of money to just kind of shell out.
We're broke.
Yeah, I'm a teacher, so
Amen.
but he does have money. He's been monetizing it, but it's not like
Right.
we want to like take it all and put
Yeah.
it, you know. So we want to do that because we're not even in the network, and she has made major connections for us already.
Wow.
And I'm like, you know, we need to do this. These seem like really good people. So
Yeah.
that's
Now
what we're raising the money for.
And it's a silent auction. It's going to be online, I'm sure, right? And so where can people find that if they need to go and if they want to donate or, you know, or buy something or put an auction in?
Sure. So they can go to my website at www.autismrocksandrolls.com, and there's a silent auction page, right? And they can buy stuff from there, which we got stuff from the Chocolate Mousse in Bloomington, some of my school stuff, and what else?
We've got lots of really nice restaurants, you know, like in our town,
Great.
the Malibu Grill, the
Hotels.
Tap. We're working on hotels. We've got bowling certificates. So we're trying to make some packages that have like a night out and have some online things too for people that
The
don't live.
smokehouse.
Yeah. Oh, those are great. All great things. Well, I want to let you know that from here at the SJ Child Show and from my books, I'm going to send you 10 copies of my author signed books from the SJ Child's collection. My books are about dyslexia, Down syndrome, anxiety, autism, and physical differences.
Oh my God.
That was a surprise.
Yeah, so I just
That is
Thank you.
absolutely. So we'll talk afterwards to make sure I can, get you guys all of these great books and put them on your auction, okay?
And wait, does this say Doug? The first one said Doug.
Yeah, the first one is called Doug the dyslexic duck.
So that's my husband's name.
Well, tell him not to take any offense to that. That he's neither a duck, or I don't know if he's dyslexic or not, but
Well, you see, I think Doug the Dynasty Duck for some reason.
that's fantastic. Yeah. Well, and it's so cute. So you see the artwork?
Yeah.
That is a spray paint art done by my husband, who is an incredible artist who has Asperger's, like I was telling you. And so my heart is just full of celebration of all things autism.
May I ask, I'm obsessed with certain stuff, just wrestling mainly. Is your husband obsessed with something?
Boy, have we gone through the obsessions. Yes, and yes.
What about now?
Okay, so now he's, I'm so lucky. Guess what he's obsessed with right now? Me getting podcasting. He's bought me this show, new clothes, set this desk up for me. He does all my video production. And we have a special visitor. DJ, come in and say hello. Hello. Come over here.
Jay?
Here. Come on over here.
Hey,
Around
buddy.
here. There you go. Come on in.
Hi.
Say hi. We'll turn up the headphones so you can hear.
Hi. How are you, bud?
How you doing, DJ?
Good. Very good.
This is
and
Gina.
you're 11?
This is Sam.
Gina and Sam.
Yeah.
Gina spelled.
Are you 11?
Yes. I'm 11.
What grade are you in?
5th grade or 6th grade?
I like this kid.
It's so nice to meet you. We love meeting new people.
You want to say goodbye?
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, buddy. Good meeting you.
Thanks for coming in. Love you.
He's so sweet.
He's
I wish
so
you
much
could
fun.
hug. I wish you could hug through the computer.
Don't you know? I agree 100%. Yeah, he is amazing, and he has taught me so much, and he's just really he's made me blossom into this like incredible person that who knew that I would be, right? So
I taught you before.
I agree with you though. Like, yeah, they teach you so many things.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my gosh.
Name 5 things? I'm curious.
Name 5 things that you've taught me?
Yeah,
Well,
off the top of your head. Go.
Oh, I can do it. You've definitely taught me to be very accepting of, which I always have been, but even more so, you've taught me to be very patient.
Oh, yeah.
You've taught me to let your children make their own path.
And let kids be kids, honestly.
Let kids be kids.
love it.
You've, like she said, you've taught me that not everything is what I want. Like, I have to let you blossom and do your thing. And I've also learned that some like straight A's are not the most critical thing in the world.
No.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I could go on and on.
I agree. No, I agree. I think that, oh boy, I've learned so much being a mom, and I have a 21-year-old also, and a 9 and an 11-year-old. So I like to say I already raised an adult. I already made all the mistakes on her. I messed her up real bad. No, just kidding. But now, now I could take those errors and those trial and error and kind of learning as you go and say, okay, 9-year-old, you want purple hair? Do it. Here's your temporary purple hair. And then she's like, yay, now I'm going to wash it and have a purple bath. Yay. And it's okay. It's the best thing ever. Instead
if
of
I ever have kids, it's going to be 3. That's the maximum I'm having.
Okay.
You got to convince you with the 3rd one. I'm telling you that right now. Good luck, because I'm only having 2. That's my.
Well, let me ask you this, Sam.
I'll have kids, but it's only going to be 2.
Are you, and have you in the past dated before? And are you dating?
Nope and no. I wish though.
You will.
I think that it's so special that you really want to. And DJ too, he's only 11, but he always expresses the, I want true love. Will I propose to somebody someday, Mom? And like, I hope so. I'm sure that if you want it and you put it out there enough and you make room for that in your life, it will come. And
yeah, it's so exciting to see that progression. And I, Sam, I hope that you don't mind me saying, but for us as parents, like early on, it's so scary. It's so scary not knowing, not understanding, not being able to see such success. And nowadays, we can see it so much more prevalently in our society, and with people like you who are putting yourself in the forefront to teach people, hey, this is what success looks like. This is what autism looks like. It doesn't look exactly like Rain Man. It doesn't look exactly like the just this element that people need to accept. I like to think of it, and I like to push the boundaries of, it is not a disorder, it is a reorder of thinking. Get rid of disorder, out the window, bad language,
Yeah,
done.
we're Batman. We're Supermans with a 6-pack.
I don't know about a six.
Amen, right?
You're Superman though.
That's for sure.
Superman has abs.
Yeah, and it's just so it's so neat. And tell our listeners and our viewers that are watching, maybe what were some of the struggles that you remember in your adolescence and early on?
Oh, meltdowns. That's the first one that comes to my mind.
Yeah.
Major meltdowns. Let me ask you this too. How many times have you put your foot in your mouth?
Yeah, right? Sometimes.
I've done that too many times to count on one finger.
And I find that with our educating others, we will learn that, more than anything, people's perceptions of what you say sometimes aren't the intentions of what you had. And I think that comes across a lot in autism. And I really, I see it with my own children in their intentions being so good, but they're very honest and they're very blunt and forward thinkers. And there is a place for that. And that's what we have to do, is find that place, that is the best place for that to be. I think that podcasting is a great place to do that.
Oh, yeah. It's therapeutic. That's kind of one of the reasons, because I haven't told her some of the stuff that have happened. I've been some of the experiences for a good reason. Mama Bear would come out and she plot a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah.
So now some of the stuff I'm like, all right, maybe I can let the cat out of the bag, as they say, and tell it on here and not to you. No offense.
No, I can see that. Like, since he started podcasting, he has more confidence. He has more control over his emotions, and he can, communicate better. And he's aware. Like he knows, like, okay, sometimes I have a hard time coming into a conversation or coming out of a conversation. I really don't know what to do. And just the fact that he can say that, like, is huge. That he's the awareness is, if kids can be aware, then you have something to work with, and they, so, but yeah, he's like, okay, I have autism, and okay, like, why we don't really need to, I always tell him, you can focus on your brain wiring and autism as much as you want to, or as little as you want to.
Right.
It's your choice. It is and he has just the last 2 or 3 years
I decided to make it big.
just decided, like, I've got a story to tell.
I love it.
Autism is a big part of it. So
yeah, definitely. And I really like how honest you are about, saying that meltdowns is really your hardest part, because
that was my adolescent, really. That was the hardest part, like, younger.
Is it better? Do you feel better?
Oh yeah.
More
I have internal meltdowns, but not external.
He has it. Well, and what I've always said,
I just shut down, really.
Well, what I've always said too was, like, with the outward meltdowns, he had them a lot at home. I can remember, like, when he was growing up, and then sometimes if we would be out, like, something wouldn't go right, and he would have them. But I will say he did so well, like, at school. I would say he went to preschool when he was 3.
How much meltdowns I have at school, probably?
I could count on one hand.
Yeah, I can count too.
How many times?
I would say I had
3
or 2.
2 or 3. Like, I can remember once in 2nd grade, something didn't go right, and we had to, like, pull him out because I teach at the district that he goes to school in. And so when they, long story short, like I had walked him over to his room and something didn't go well. And then he like crawled under the table, had me drag him out, and he went to the principal's office to just calm down. And then once in like 7th grade.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm still kind of mad about that. They lied to me. That wasn't my fault.
They didn't say his name. Like they were supposed to get awarded for like perfect attendance.
Honor roll.
Honor roll. And the computer, like the office, just missed some people. And he happened to be one of them. So he was like waiting, to be recognized. And he really had a hard time with it. But it was like 20 minutes. And
hey, no, they didn't recognize me. It was a % off.
Or it was
class.
something. Yeah. Yeah. So
I don't know, it was 1% off.
The resource teacher came down to get me, and she was like, okay, Sam is like really having a hard time. And they hadn't really seen him like that. Like they hadn't. So I remember we went into the resource room and I said, okay, like we understand what's happening, but you have 20 minutes. You have 20 minutes to like gather yourself. We can have a conversation about it, but you got to go back to class. Like, I'm sorry that this happened, but this is something you have to control. And I said, you can go back to class calm, or you can go back to class upset. And that may come across as kind of harsh, but it's reality.
Oh, I love that, because we have to teach our kiddos with autism or without boundaries, right? They still have to learn boundaries, and every child's learning, is different. Every child's learning style, so it's so important to just understand how you're going to approach things.
Well, it's like even an employer, like I always use the example for Sam, like at home, if you're really struggling with something and it's within reason, we can say, well, okay, let's try it this way, like let's do that. But if you have an employer and they say, this is how I want it done, and they say, I'm sorry, I have autism, I can't, they will find somebody else that can do that. And there's no legality of whether they have to employ you or not.
Oh, well, they don't think we can get a job.
And that's a problem too.
Which is
absolutely.
False. Sorry, but honestly.
No, I 100% agree with that. No, it totally is.
People on the spectrum are not getting jobs.
Yeah.
And lots do, obviously, but then there's lots that have all of these obsessions, which I like to call it skills.
Yes.
Have all of these skills that are ignored because they're on the spectrum, and it's a huge problem.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah.
Let's talk about something interesting that you're kind of touching on, and that is what do you think as a teacher and as a mom of a son with autism, what do you think about diagnoses and how the process of diagnosing children is, kind of led astray, basically? Like people are so frustrated about it, or they don't get the right types of diagnoses, and girls, how much they're overlooked, right?
Yeah.
It's mainly in boys and in girls.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
But the diagnosis, but then you have how many, what's the number really?
Yeah.
Like what's the number of girls that, we just assume they're being dramatic, or we assume
exactly
like stereotypical, they're just being a girl. Like that absolutely is an issue. And then what I've seen a lot is when, because for over the years, I've, met so many people that are kind of, we're in the same boat with autistic children or this or that. And what I see is they, like a diagnosis happens, and I'm not saying that we are perfect and like we did everything perfect, because we didn't.
No, you're a human being. Make mistakes, it's their human nature. It's
absolutely
not, right?
But what I see is parents sometimes don't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
And so because they don't know how to handle it, a lot of times it's even ignored.
Go into denial. Mm-hmm.
That is such a huge issue. Like
that makes me sad.
Me too.
It makes me really sad too.
Me too.
And I'm not like, I don't want to be real quick to be like, they shouldn't do that, or they're not good people. I don't want to do that because
Yeah.
I don't know their story. But
They just
if
need more education.
they need to, I just had somebody just the other day, of course I would never name names, but they said, how was it? It wasn't like, oh, I know, they said, when did you tell Sam that he had autism? And I said, well, we chose to tell him when he was 6
Mhm.
because it was a really hard time at that point. He didn't understand what was going on, and it helped for him to understand, like, that was us. And you know, sometimes their children are like 15 years old. And they
Yeah.
don't know. And I'm just like, oh, why are you doing that to them? Like, you
Yeah.
have to be honest with them. So
100%.
I mean, I know it's going to be hurtful, possibly, but you know,
Yeah.
You know, and that's the sad part is why should it be hurtful? Why should something that says, hey, this is how your brain functions, and this is how my brain functions, and this is the support you need, and this is the support I need. I'm not sure how any of that makes anyone worse or better. It doesn't. It's such a horrible decision that society has put on things to you know, make it a bad thing that people's brains work differently. Have anybody been here a day on the earth? Have anybody met anybody else? We're all different.
Yeah, that's what we always say is, like, what if like society says normal, we don't use the word normal because I really don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But what if there really was a normal, and what if he's normal,
Yeah.
and what if I'm not, which I'm pretty
Exactly.
sure.
no,
You
you
know-
need to shoot to break your back.
What about this? What if autism and thinking processes or are evolution? What if it's a new evolution? Because just like you said, Sam, it is so huge. You have to know about it. Did you know that autism has raised 178% since 1970? 178%. And if people think that as it progresses 3 times each year, we're talking 250% in the next 5 to 10 years.
Right.
Insane.
Yeah.
You know, and we're so worried about, you know, for, I mean, I hate to say this, flus and other things that are bad, but
Rona.
let's talk about how people are treating other people in society, because if we can't handle people as society and work together, how can we cure a flu? How can
Yeah.
we do any of those things? It's
starts
just
with
insane.
that. It starts with
It
those
does.
relationships and
Yes.
acceptance, and not so quick to say, oh, you're different. But who cares? Like,
Yeah.
I'm different, and we just need to just as a society stop thinking
Yeah,
that
we're
way.
gonna be eccentric, period. But that's what I see as kind of too.
That's what my husband says about himself too. He said, you know, as for better lack of terms, as a poor man, I'm weird, but if I was rich, I would just be eccentric. And I love what he says that, because it is so true. And you know what I found in you know, we're going on 17 years together, is that the ideas that my best friend has every day are brilliant, outside of the thinking, different than any other. They're like carvers of the future, right? It's amazing. I'm celebrating it all.
Me too. We do that.
Exactly. It's been such a pleasure to speak with you guys today and to have you on the show. I'm so excited to follow your journey and support you guys.
We really appreciate
Thank you.
it. And we, like he said before, autismrocksandrolls.com. And there is a sponsorship on that page. We just got, we got several sponsors, which is amazing.
Yes.
And then we kept getting more, which we did not want to turn anybody away, but the ad space ran out. And because he's booked until like 2022 February for ad space.
Wow.
So that was great. But then I was like, okay, we got to offer something else. So now we have this thing called mini sponsorships, which is a little cheaper. And it's basically paid shout outs. And so
cool.
we just got 2 of those today. And so that's, I mean, our Wellsprings Pain Solutions is probably our biggest sponsor.
Bluebell. No, I'm sorry. I'm trying to think Bluebell is. I mean, not Bluebell. God, now I'm thinking of ice cream.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, Little Blues Tattoo.
Little Blues Tattoos and Blue.
Nice.
Huge supporter. We've got Professional Auto Glass, commercial service. Now we've got Farm Bureau in our hometown.
Wow.
They just came.
Fantastic.
So yeah, it's awesome.
And
We're-
what else we got?
yes.
There's someone else. It's the one we always forget.
Greene County General Hospital.
Oh, and
TPA,
they
tax
props
service,
to them.
and life path counseling.
Yeah, we got a lot. But
Wonderful.
so that's
That's
definitely
all
on the
very
website, and that's when he started getting sponsors, it changed the ball game. So
That's amazing. I'm so proud of you guys. I'm so proud of you as a mom, and I'm so proud of you, Sam.
Thank
so
you.
proud of you. And I'm just so honored and pleased to have you on. So thank you for joining me.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
We
thank you.
appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll talk soon, okay?
All
All right.
right. Bye.
Bye.
I wanna be the kind of guy that keeps you warm at night when you are cold. I'll grab some blankets from my bed, wrap them around your chest, and I'll pull you close. We'll flip some channels to find out there's nothing on right now to ease your mind. Sit back, relax, there is no rush, no need to speed things up. All we have is time to think about the future, forget about the past. Time to figure out a way to make this moment last. To make this moment last. To make this moment last. So let's make this the kind of love that we've been dreaming of when we sleep at night. We'll get a little house to live in, have a couple kids, and we'll sleep tight. Cause baby, all we really need are just a couple things to stay alive. And everything else in between, just trust my heart, you'll see. We're slowly coming. Time to think about the future, forget about the past. Time to figure out a way to make this moment last. To make this moment last. To make this moment last. Sunrises, sunsets, I won't let you forget that I need you. Spring comes and spring goes, forever you will know that I love you. Sunrises, sunsets, I won't let you forget that I need you. Spring comes and spring goes, forever you will know that I love you.